The first time that I became painfully aware of my weight was when I was 8 and I was enrolled in Weight Watchers the first time. I don't fault my parents for that. It was the 80s. They didn't want an overweight child. I was the youngest one there, of course, and in some ways it was kind of cool. Some ways it was horrible, and it didn't work. It didn't work that time. It didn't work the other 2 times I was in Weight Watchers. I was in tops, taking off pounds sensibly. That was held at the local senior center. Again, I was the youngest person there. It didn't work. I went to I don't want to call it a weight loss program for adolescents. It was more an overall health program, and that wasn't so bad. I was there for 2 seasons. I don't know, I think it ran the school year. Again, did not work. Tried the diet pills. Somehow I thought that, that was in 2000, that was ephedra. That was, I thought that maybe being hyper and trembling all day would be the answer to my prayers. That was not. And then there was the good old starvation diet. That did not work either. Somewhere in the year 2000, so this was 1995. This was after our first son was born. I gained a lot of weight while I was pregnant. Did not lose it after he was born like people say you do. And I continued to gain after he was born for the next 5 years. I hit my highest weight in 2000 at 268 pounds. At that time, I was in the highest plus size in the store. And it was terrifying. What does one do when they have outgrown the clothes in the store? Movie theater seats were difficult, airplane seats were difficult, and the bathtub. Like, I filled up the entire bathtub. And my rock bottom came when I tried to ride a kiddie ride with my 5-year-old at the Mall of America. It was that yellow bus that goes around. Had one of those lap bars that it's not adjustable per person, it just comes down over everybody. And it was pretty horrifying because I had to lift my fat up and push the bar down to make it lock. So I decided that was it. I needed to do something. Now, along the way, I had seen doctors, asked them what's going on. I had other health issues, and like so many other people you've heard, I was diagnosed with PCOS. I had other health issues. I had some anxiety issues, acne, had trouble sleeping. Every time I'd go to the doctor, I was told, well, those things are because you're overweight and you need to eat less and move more. So that wasn't particularly helpful because I tried those things. So at one point, a nurse practitioner at the OBGYN clinic that I went to finally diagnosed me with the polycystic ovarian syndrome. And I went home and I researched it, and clearly that's what I had. And I thought, now I have a diagnosis, I know what to do. A lot of people recommended a low-carb diet, and that's the first time that I learned about a low-carb diet. First thing I did was got Dr. Adkins' book. I read it, and I started it. I lost about 10 pounds the first week, which is pretty typical. You lose that water weight and some inflammation. Went back to a doctor who said, oh my God, you can't do that, it's dangerous. So I went home and I went back on the standard American diet and quickly gained that weight back. Spent another few months, same weight, high, and finally I'm like, you know what, forget it, I'm doing this. Went on a low-carb diet. Lost 70 pounds, and like Katie said, low-carb keto will cause pregnancy. Got pregnant again, and he's now 16. This one's 23. Let me just show you. This is right about my highest weight. My journey has not been linear. I have lost and gained the same 100 pounds over and over again. I have bought new clothes, given away the clothes, bought more. And so when people have asked, you should tell your story, I'm like, why? Why? I'm not an expert. I have not made, linear progress. But I realize that I'm pretty typical. I mean, I'm just like you guys. So here I am. I gained a lot of weight. I had acne. I had sleep issues again, because I didn't learn the first time. And I think the hard part was I didn't look at it as a lifestyle change. Like, this is what I have to do the rest of my life. I figured once I lost the weight, I could go back to eating the way I did before. And, and people say that, oh, that keto diet, that's great. You lose a lot of weight, but once you go off of it, you're going to gain it back. Yeah, you are, because that's how you gain the weight in the first place. Is it hard? Being morbidly obese is hard. There's not a day that I have not thought about my weight, whether I was 150 pounds higher than now or even now. I mean, it's a lifelong thing. Every year on my birthday when I was young, and even up until, say, 5 years ago, when you blow out your candles, people say, make a wish. And my wish was not to be fat anymore. So I have one more picture. So got my husband in there twice, and he's up there, and he's my biggest supporter. He's loved me thick and thin. Thank goodness, because I know it hasn't been easy. I feel like my biggest success has come in the last probably 3 to 4 years. I started really and I'm not saying you all have to do this, but tracking, weighing, measuring, kind of learning what is a portion size, what does an ounce of something look like, and because we can fool ourselves, we can, like somebody said, you put it into your, I think it was Dr. Westman, you put it into your food journal, but you're not actually maybe putting the right amounts, or you're forgetting some things. Yeah, it is something that I'm going to do the rest of my life, and it is sustainable. And I'm pretty, this is the first time I've ever told my story. I've been kind of, hush about it. It's kind of my thing. I don't want to be put on the defensive, because inevitably somebody's going to be horrified by that keto diet. And can you believe people put butter in their coffee? And I don't understand, nobody's horrified when you put cream in your coffee, but somehow butter just crosses the line. And I will say, I made it to my goal weight, and I'm not saying these are bad, and I think they're a tool, but I made it to my goal weight. I never tested my ketones. I don't do a lot of specialty keto stuff. In fact, and I adore Maria, but I didn't find her recipe books until after I hit my goal weight. So it's been really fun, but not necessary. You just need to eat real food. Eat meat, eat vegetables, eat your healthy fats. It doesn't have to be complicated. I want to let you know that if I can do it, you guys can do it. And I'm proud of all of you for being here today, because you could be out doing anything else. And I really appreciate that you came here to learn. Thank you.